Alrighty, here's a bunch of examples to go with the vocabulary that we just talked about. So suppose we want to study the amount of money spent on textbooks by a typical first-year student at your college. Let's identify what the population, the sample, and the statistic would be for this situation. So the population would be all first-year students at your college. And the sample would be the students that are surveyed. And if you watch this actual video, you'll see it talks about surveying just 100 of them. Only 100 first. So the population is, okay, so if the study is, we want to study the amount of money spent on textbooks by a typical first-year student. That means the population is all first-year students. But not all of them are surveyed.
I know.
Only 100 of them are surveyed. No, I neglected that when I was creating these at like midnight one night, so sorry. So only 100 first-year students are surveyed. That's our sample. And then our statistic would be the average amount of money. I'm just going to abbreviate. Money spent by these students on textbooks. Okay, here's another example. A political scientist surveys 39 of the current 152 representatives in a state's Congress. So I'm assuming, we're kind of making some assumptions here, but the political scientist is probably trying to get the viewpoint of the entire state representatives, right? So the population would be the 152 representatives. But the sample would be the 39 that he surveys, he or she surveys, right? So, is that making sense? The difference between a population is the entire thing we're trying to represent, and the sample is those who actually voice the opinions, or the people, or whatever the data is actually collected from. Because it's really hard to do a study that includes everyone, unless you bribe them or threaten them. We have this survey we have to do every year as teachers, and basically the principal just keeps emailing us saying, this many percent have done it now. This many percent have done it now. Like, and we know that we have to like use our email when we log in, so she knows exactly who's done it and who hasn't. So anyway. All right. Moving on to the next question, which takes a lot of space, but it's like multiple choice, so that's good. The city of Prescott has 880 registered voters. Look, it's another question about Brown and Feliz, or her, I don't know how to say this name. Somebody help me learn how to say this name. Anyone? Anyone? Bueller? Okay, never mind. The day before the election, a telephone poll of 600 randomly selected registered voters was conducted. 206 said they'd vote for Brown, 350 said they'd vote for Feliz, and 44 were undecided. Describe the population the surveyors are really interested in. Choose your answer from the list below. All citizens of Prescott, all registered voters in Prescott, all registered voters with telephones in Prescott, the 600 voters surveyed, the 206 voters who said they'd vote for Brown, or none of the above. Actually, they're trying to get the opinion of all registered voters in Prescott, right? Don't you think? Don't you think? We'll get there. Okay, so what they're interested in finding is the opinions of all registered voters, right? That's what they're trying to accomplish. However, they maybe don't go about it the right way, because what they end up getting, what is actually represented, is registered voters with telephones, because this survey would be biased toward people that have telephones, and that might change their opinions depending on the viewpoints of the candidates. It might change their opinions if they, if there's like issues with regards to telecommunications and things, right? So finally, describe the sample for this survey. The sample in this survey is the 600 voters who are surveyed, right? Those are the ones actually voicing an opinion. Those are the people in the sample that are representing registered voters with telephones, which is not quite what the surveyors are trying to accomplish. So it maybe could be done a better way. I don't know. Collecting data without bias is a difficult process. It's very difficult because people don't like to do surveys, and it just becomes complicated. So anyway, ending this video here.